Hi all, this is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is okay. It's a kind of a nasty 58 degrees, yet we were able to get our morning walk in. So I hope you're all having a great holiday weekend. And I just have a few ideas for Monday. Make that about 8 or 9 of them that I'm going to take a quick look at the charts and talk about for a little while. Yes, I'm still talking biotech. I haven't given up on biotech. The chart on the Dow looks phenomenal. I don't see any barriers to all-time highs probably by the end of this week with a little bit of luck. But you never know when it comes to the actual daily, day-by-day movements. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think there's any earth-shattering political events that are going to affect the market. Looks like the Mueller report is a non-event as far as the markets go. So I don't see anything else geopolitically that's horrible. So looks like the road is clear. And we're going to take a look day by day, checking on that Dow, inching up towards its all-time high. I think 30,000 is in the cards, but before that, we have to take out 26,980, the previous all-time high. So what are we going to talk about besides? We're going to take another look at AMD, the favorite of day traders, swing traders, and a lot of other traders. Huge volume stock, not a bad one to play either way. And I'm going to talk about why I think the best way to play it is up, at least for the short term, maybe the intermediate term, maybe even the long term. So I'm high on AMD, and I'm also high on pot stocks, not literally, just figuratively. So while I may be high on pot stocks, I don't know if I'm going to look at more than one, maybe two pot stocks. Curl F is a pink over-the-counter one that's getting a lot of interest from my viewers, CURLF. And another one is oils, a Canadian, listed on the Canadian exchange as OILS. It's also listed on the NASDAQ under a different symbol. What else is getting a lot of interest? A lot of these American cannabis plays, VFF, Planet 13 in Las Vegas, dispensary that's been on the move. Obviously, we can't look at all of those, but if we look at any, it'll be either Kronos or CGC, my two biggest holdings, the two that I like, perhaps personally like the most. So let's get to the video charts. Of course, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. So let's take a look at what ideas I have in mind. As always, try to share the link with your buddies on Twitter and StockTwits and Facebook and Instagram or Reddit or wherever you typically post outside of YouTube. Let people know about good old Dr. J and some of his great ideas. Don't tell them about my clunkers. What's the story? Please subscribe to the blog if you haven't already. Share the link, write comments, give me a thumbs up. I like the likes. I like the likes. Okay, we said to do your own due diligence because nobody's thinking is better than your own. Let's go to the video charts because I'm wasting too much time on this Easter Sunday. We're also going to look at biotech's gern and its progeny, BTX, and its spin-offs, AGE and OCX, amongst other stocks. SESN has been requested. We're going to look at that. Greg, you requested a stock. We're going to look at that. Before I forget, I want to do a shout out to John, long haul John from Champaign, Illinois. How you doing, John? I hope you're home with your family, not on a long haul. Okay, so let's look at Dow first. What do you say? I'm going to be adding to this list. I'm going to do a lot more than 4, I think. I already have charted other stocks. I just didn't want to put them all, open up too many screens because then it slows down my computer too much. Dow Jones Industrial Averages. I love the close on Thursday. Notice it's been flirting with the high of 4.5, April 5th, which was 26,487. And we've been trying to close above that for the last 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally, we closed above it. So that's meaningful. And I expect very little resistance up until the 26,980 area. So if in fact there is any, I think it could be straight up. I love it. I love straight up. Maybe the Dow goes parabolic. I would love to see that. And the other indices play catch up to the Dow because the Dow has been stronger than the other indices. Let's look at, let's get rid of this picture. I just wanted to show you that we closed above resistance. Very meaningful. Okay, CTLK, Outlook Therapeutic, OTLK, Outlook Therapeutics. This is one that Greg asked Dr. J to chart. And Greg, I always try to honor your requests, as I do everyone else, of course. But sometimes it takes me a while to get around to it. And if I do forget, please remind me. Send me drop me DM me. That might be the best way if I forget. Or just write a comment to the vlog. That's how I got. I think I'm most likely to remember if it's in a comment to the vlog. Okay, Greg, I don't know the news. It caused it to pop from 20 cents all the way to a high of, wow, 880. And then I don't know the news. It caused it to drop from a low of 305 all the way down to a low of $1.50. But it seems clear to me that $1.50 is now support. And I love this rounded bottom, as I think OTLK, and you're going to fill me in on what it does because I know you always do, looks like it's going to try to come back. I love this kind of rounded bottom. It's one of my favorite patterns. So if it gets above 189, I think the next resistance is the 50-day, maybe around 290. So I could see a move up, almost double from here, just based on a little hint of that rounded bottom. Of course, $1.50, it closes below $1.50, or even intraday significantly drops below $1.50. That indeed would be a very bad omen for this stock. Okay, so while I think it could launch another comeback, it's extremely volatile. It could also drop further. It's really up to the next few days that are going to tell the difference whether this should be played long or short. So a break of $1.89 certainly looks like it'll continue on up. A break of $1.50 looks like it'll continue on down. So that's the story of OTLK. Can it be played now? Yeah, it could be played now. I mean, why not? If you go in at $1.59, let's say, we're to stop at $1.45 and pick a number for your take profit. Okay. Exact Sciences. Brooklyn made her money on it, had very good timing, right, Brooklyn? Is it worth playing at this point? Well, you can't be too happy with a rising wage pattern. Most of the time, they seem to end badly, but I've seen them end well. I've seen them come out and keep on going. So I don't know what the odds are for sure, but traders don't like these rising wedges. I'm a little less convinced, but because I do like the fact that it's hit this lowest support line about I don't know how many times, about 4 times, once back here, all the way back here, 1224, and then there's touches on 327, 328, and now on Thursday, 418. And it bounced off that lower trend line. So is it going to break north or break south? It's hard to tell. I guess the statistics favor it to break down. Break south at some point, but it could continue in this upward wedge for some time. And therefore, I think it's still a buy. If you bought it right here, your stop loss would be at the low of the day here. And your take profit could be at the high of the day here. So you take profit at 99.50. You stop at 87.75. Why not? I think it's very likely it'll go up one more time to test the upper ascending line. Notice the slope of the upper ascending line is much less than the slope of the bottom line. So that's what gives us this wedge. And in other words, we're making higher lows, percentage-wise, greater higher lows than we're making higher highs, which is a narrowing, which is consistent with this narrowing of the trading range. But like I said before, there's no reason why it shouldn't do this a few more times, and you could swing nicely back and forth until it breaks north or breaks south. So I like Exact Sciences for a swing trade. It's a swing trade idea. I'm not predicting with certainty whether it will ultimately break out to the north or to the south, whether it'll break up or break down. My crystal ball isn't working that well, but if the Dow and the biotechs do well, and there's no bad news on this, I'm thinking it could break up, defy the odds, so to speak, which is usually to break down. In other words, it's a bearish pattern as opposed to a bullish pattern most of the time, but not all of the time. Okay, let's look at Zyne. This is Zenerba Pharmaceuticals, yes. JD from Dallas gave me this one to look at when it was about 4 or 5. Nice pick, JD. JD has given me so many nice picks. I don't know if you're still in this one, JD. I'm not particularly bearish on it because despite the downward sloping channel, it's also formed a pennant or a triangle. And that's coming to a rapid conclusion by maybe the first few trading days of the week. And it looks like a consolidation type pattern. So it could very well break out. Hopefully it comes back down a little bit lower and you can get in at 760, 775 and play it to reach the top of its run, which was, the high was 949. Maybe it makes another run at 949. The medical marijuana stocks are hot. Zyne certainly has been hot. Look from whence it came, 443. JD gave it to me somewhere around here. I don't remember exactly. Right, JD? You really picked maybe you got it right at the beginning of the run here. I think that might be it. Right at the beginning of the run. Okay, so JD, you keep sharing those great ideas with my viewers and me. We much appreciate it. Okay, so Dr. J is still liking Zyne, even though it could continue down for another few days. My feeling is when it breaks out of the triangle, it'll break to the upside. Hopefully biotech is feeling better as well. Let's take a look at sesn. I could have looked at it there and saved a little time, but I have it right here, so no problem. Sesn was requested by one of my viewers. I'm sorry, I don't remember who, or I would say your name. I should try to remember who's requesting everything. One of my good followers, appreciate the request. So let's take a look at sesn, of course, bladder cancer drug that the CEO says has excellent chances to be approved in lieu of, for those who need to put off or are waiting upon replacement bladder, artificial bladder for cancer. This is a drug that could be used as a stopgap measure. I believe that's the main use, although I'm not an expert on the fundamentals. So the stock had a tremendous run. It ran all the way up to 151, has pulled back along with biotech, but this run, keep in mind, was while biotech was very weak. So it's a most impressive run. It still hasn't given back. It hasn't broken out from the candle that it made on Tuesday. So the candle that it made on the 416, the low is 110. As long as that low remains, I think we could easily see another run by sesn. So this is the key number here, 110. Below that, if you want to play this for a swing trade, you need to stop. You stop at around 108. And if you enter at 118, that's a tight stop. And you could look for, let's say you look for this high, 140. That's nice. 22 pennies up, 10 down. That's what I like. I like these 2-to-1 shots. And sesn does look interesting, no doubt about it. Okay, let's look at gern first, then we'll look at its progeny, BTX, and BTX's progeny. OCX, and AG. So they're all fruits of the geron tree, as my friend Musketeer would like to say, often says. Shout out to John. Have a happy and healthy holiday to you and your family. So let's take a look at geron itself first. Yeah. All right, let's click on geron. And Greg, you wished me a happy Easter, happy Passover. Same to you, Greg. Okay, so geron is $1.77, up 3 pennies. That was at its high. No, at its high it was 214. So the recent high was 214, and it's been on a little bit of a give back. So I'm looking for this 50-day to actually be support. We're very close to that 50-day already. We virtually hit it on Wednesday, just above it. The low on Wednesday was 168, and the 50-day must have been 160 and a half. What is the 50-day? It's 160 now. Yeah. So the low was 168. I guess the 50-day was below that. Something looks strange to me. Anyway, we're very close to that 50-day. That would be support. The 50-day again is at 161. We closed at $1.77. So we have support maybe at 162, 165. We also probably have support at this low of $1.31. Something's not adding up to me with me. $1.31. Well, that's his next support level. All right, so $1.65, $1.31. Those are the supports. We have to make another run to take out 214, and then we look to take out 240. We take out 240. Let's go shorten this interval a little bit. There's the 240. That was the day of the drop. The high of the day was 240. We take out 240. There's nothing to stop us from making a run, a serious run, maybe as high as $4. So I'm looking for good things out of geron going forward. I had sold a lot of it, but I'm thinking of actually adding back. So, sometimes you make mistakes, getting rid of a stock that did you dirty, as is the case with geron. So doesn't mean I can't get back in. I still have shares. I might just double my position. I'm thinking out loud. Let's take a look at geron's progeny, BTX. Geron sold all its stem cell patents. He spun them off to BTX in exchange for shares in BTX and its progenies, OCX and AS, what was it called? Asteria, AST, which now they took back. They bought it back, Asteria. They spun it off, they bought it back. So they're playing games a little bit, BTX. Biotime. So Biotime is a stem cell play. Now, I know they have spinal cord injuries, and AMD, I think, is the other biggie. I think John told me that by the end of April, we're going to get some data on the AMD trial. That is macular degeneration. Is that the one? I think it's called wet macular degeneration. So there is a drug for that, but I think it requires injections in the eye. I don't know about this drug that they're working on. I think the drug they have now is an, an anti-angiogenesis drug or something like that. Again, I haven't been keeping up with much of the fundamentals. John would know far better than me. I know this is stem cell technology, originally patented by Geron. BTX bought all its intellectual property, and it was tons of it. I think they got a very good deal. So down the road, BTX might see a lot of dividends from buying that intellectual property from Geron. How does the stock look? Well, it just went below the 50-day, clearly below. Not a very good sign, but it did not go below the previous low of $1.17. So that's a good sign. Support would be at that $1.17. It is a harami, and normally I don't pay much attention to bullish haramis, but it looks like the body is embedded in the body of the day before. Let me check that. The low today was $1.17. The open was $1.20, so $1.17 is lower than $1.20. So it is a harami. And at the end of a long downturn, haramis have a little more meaning. I mean, they occur all the time. They occurred right here, didn't have any meaning. I generally ignore haramis, except when I choose not to. Does that make sense? When I suspect that maybe it has some meaning. So I suspect maybe it has some meaning because it is at the end of a long downturn. That's really my criteria. I only really look at haramis if they occur at the end of a long downturn, a bullish harami, or at the end of a long upturn, if it's a bearish harami. So we have that positive going for us. We'll just have to wait and see on this one how the next few days play out. It does have support down here, but that's pretty low, about $1. It has support right here as well at $1.12. So there's support. There is support below where we are now. Let's say $1.12. It would be support, as well as the low of the day here, $1.17. So the support is between $1.17 and $1.12. And the resistance would be probably this high right here, $1.34. So doesn't look like, a chart that I can get too excited about right now, but not one that I would be panicking over either, especially considering biotech was in such a drought. I mean, I know it went down from $1.73 after a beautiful run up. But so many stocks in the biotech arena went down. So I'm not going to get overly concerned. I also am not going to get overly concerned because I happen not to own it. But I'm trying to be funny, not really. I do think it's okay to be in biotime. OCX, and especially considering these results coming in, data results, if they break well, could give the stock a boost. OCX, this one, how does the chart look on this one? Again, it's really been hugging that 50-day. So we have support right below where the low of the day. It bounced virtually off support, closed very nice. I like the close. I like this one a lot. Maybe I like it even better than BTX. Had a high of 692 on a breakout day back in January 29th. So there was some real positive news. Gave back a lot, but now is on a comeback trail. And I guess these highs would be resistance. 458 looks like resistance. And support would be the 50. Number one support would be the 50-day moving average, 382. So we see support at the 50, and we see resistance up here at about 458. Okay, I mean, and I like this candle. So based on the strength of that candle, it looks like an interesting enough swing trade. And John knows more about the details of the news that broke and whatever problems it was that caused it to give back so much. If you're interested, OCX on the StockTwits has a lot of information. But, also, if any of my viewers want to elaborate with a comment on OCX, what they're waiting for, what news is going to be coming down the road, please, by all means. And of course, let's take a look at age. Age is the other progeny of BTX. Age X Therapeutics. And this is the rejuvenation drug. We're looking at the chart of the 1 day, and it's also found beautiful support on the 50. So it found support on the 50 the day that it really collapsed on 411. Its recent high was 499. Nice run to 499. And then that big red candle, ominous looking, but it stopped at the 50 and has been hovering above the 50. So a break of the 50, of course, would be very bad. But if it makes a run, I want to see it take out this high of 470. Takes out 470, then I'm more inclined to think that it'll take out 499. So technically, it's 50-50-ish. It doesn't, to me, look like, well, there is some consolidation. You can call it that. And it looks more bullish than bearish to me because you're staying above the 50. So it's definitely more bullish than bearish. What would change my mind is a close below the 50. Right now, Dr. J is bullish AGEX based on what looks like some consolidation here. And it could easily break out. So let me just try drawing a line. Okay, good enough. So it's already broken north of the three touch trend line that I drew. Of course, you could draw it a little differently, a little higher up perhaps. If you did that, it would be a little less clear. You brought it up to about here, a little higher. Can't seem to get it exactly where I want it. Okay. Yeah, so we closed above the descending trend line. And we do have this triangular shape, typical of a consolidation pattern. So maybe we've been consolidating and are ready to break out. Let's take a quick look at what that flag looks like. So if we draw the flag right through here, we can see it better. Yeah, I mean, basically it looks like it is breaking out already. So yeah, I'm definitely bullish AGEX off of the chart, and short-term bullish at least. I think we could easily take this high out and maybe make some new highs. And even if it breaks below, look how clingy it's been to this particular horizontal trend line. It's been very clingy. So even when it, all the way back to, what's this date? 1/6. All the way back to 1/6, it's been very close to that horizontal trend line. So this is Dr. J. What did I say I wanted to look at also? Anything else? AMD. We looked at that the other day. I think we can stop here because you can always check my previous vlog for AMD. I like AMD. I think AMD looks good. But we're going to stop right here because I know it's an important day for a lot of people, and we probably won't be getting around to this till late at night because I know most of you are very, very busy today. And for that reason, I want to say thank you for watching the vlog today, and thank you for your input. It's always nice to hear from you. I hope that the audio is okay because right now it doesn't look perfect as I move my lips. It seems to be a lag. Don't forget to subscribe. You can hover your mouse over the G, that should do it. And don't forget to share the link, all those things. This has been Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York. I want to say shalom, sayonara, au revoir, arrivederci, ciao. Hasta mañana.